Team? Hello? Mr. Locke? Locke, it looks like it's just you and me today. You and me against the world. Ain't that the way it always is? Ain't that the way it always is, just you and me? I will start by saying I'm still tired as shit. Like, I think that I'm probably gonna stream for like an hour, maybe not even that much, and then fucking hit the sack. I don't know why I'm so tired all the time. Maybe it's malnourishment. Maybe I need some more fruits and veggies in my life. I mean, I have a peanut butter banana smoothie for breakfast like every day. Probably mild burnout TBH. It probably is. I do feel like I need a break from work, even though everything at work is going really, really well. This is the time of year that I'm like, fuck. Yeah, I had a lot of back-to-back stuff. But I don't know. I'm kind of taking care of business, which is why I'm like, shit, man. I'm not used to being stressed and burnt out when everything's going well. But I think that like that's what's happening. Yeah, right. So normally I'm stressed and burnt out like in the middle of things, but here I am. Yeah, I guess you're totally right though. And it was just like this moment of me sitting there like, God, do I even like want to do other things? Like this break from streaming, I feel like the time is slipping away. Like it's not like I'm even sitting here thinking like, oh my God, I could go stream. It's just like, fuck, dude, if it's already like nighttime and I didn't stream, I didn't even think about the fact that I was skipping stream. Like I just naturally skip stream. Like, is this even like valid for it to be a part of my life anymore? I think that I'm just fucking burnt out. I think I'm just burnt out and I'm tired and everything's good. Once I stop being burnt out and tired. In 2 weeks, I am going to go visit my mother down in Georgia for an early Mother's Day. I'm just gonna kind of hang out with my mama, so that's gonna be nice. But yes, no, I agree with what you're saying. I think that I need Dane time. There's a black sand beach up near Duluth that I think I might spend half a week at. Let me see if I can find it. Black Sand Beach, Minnesota, on Silver Bay. Yeah, let me see if I can find this. Silver Bay, Minnesota. Take a look at this. Yeah? I was thinking I'd spend some time here now that it's getting a little bit warmer. This is about 4.5 hours away from me. This is how I like disconnect, so to speak. The last time I did this was spring of 2022, spring of 2021. 2022 sounds right. When I went to Shenandoah National Park and I stayed in Airbnb for a week. Now, obviously, back in 2022, I was not employed and could just fucking leave for a week and nothing would happen. Nowadays, it's a little harder to do that, but I think that I may do this. Literally just fucking enjoy myself, you know, just enjoy myself away from life. So yeah, I've been thinking about this for a while. One of my coworkers who I feel like I am at the point that I don't need to call him a coworker anymore. I think that he is just a friend, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool to just make friends. But he was like, yeah, my wife and I went here. my wife and I went here and we were like, you should go up there sometime. And I was like, oh yeah, sounds good. I'll give that a look. So that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, listen, I think that my definition for when it stops being just coworkers and starts being just friends is when you talk outside of work and we talk outside of work. So I'm willing to say that we're friends. But yeah, that's that. Oh, something else happened. I didn't read any of the terms and conditions. I don't know if I'm allowed to even show you guys this. I might have immediately gotten, what's it called? I got selected to do sponsorship stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, all this shit looks fucking ass. Dude, like what? Like there's no way in hell that I'm going to market any of this shit, dude. So I think it's cool that they were like, oh hey, you're allowed to do sponsored stuff, but let me tell ya, I don't think I care. Like I think I've always kind of noticed, or I've always kind of said that like I have money, right? Like I have a source of income. So I don't really want to like shill out things that I don't really believe in. And while I think it's really cool that they gave this opportunity to me, I'm also like, I don't really give a shit. You know, so. Yes, nice. Sorry. Had to get that out of there. What was I talking about? My channel viewership by country. That also got shown, by the way. I got one of these. Android app, iOS app, other, and then web browser. And 70% of my viewers are from the States. 10% of my viewers are from Brazil. 10% of my viewers are from Germany. I thought that was pretty neat as well. I know that I wonder what sub 1% is and like things like this, because I know that my only Brazilian viewer is, is Drake. So I don't know. Germany is Monka. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty crazy though. I like seeing statistics like that. All right, what else? I had a banger joke. So maybe you guys are familiar with the song Two Baddies, One Porsche. Maybe you've heard of it. It is a K-pop song. Let's see if I can bring this up. Two Baddies, One Porsche. Yes. This song, Two Baddies, One Porsche, right? American version of this song, Two Burgers, One Plate. Eh? Come on. You gotta give me a little bit of credit on that one. I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna leak some DMs. American remix of Two Baddies, One Porsche, named Two Burgers, One Plate. You can make it happen. Two burgers, one plate. Two burgers, one plate. The inspiration, it just comes to me. What else? So I have been in a brain state recently. Or I guess mental state. I've been in a mental state recently, and by recently I mean like for the past 2-3 months, where I've really wanted to play Minecraft again. And this isn't even like, haha, the Minecraft movie just came out. Like, I feel like I've been like holding off on playing Minecraft because like I want to like do it without stopping immediately. You know, it's about exactly like it's that time of year. It's that time of year where like I want to play Minecraft for like a month, right? But I'm holding out. You know, I'm being abstinent. I'm gonna wait until I get married to play Minecraft. Come on, you get it. You get the allegory. But I'm practicing abstinence. But anyway, maybe that joke needs a little bit more time in the workshop. We're gonna lab that one out a little bit. But I've been wanting to play Minecraft like so badly, but I like don't like want to play Minecraft. Another thing that I've been wanting to do is I really want to play Pokemon, which like, haha, that is what stream is for. I literally stream Pokemon, but I kind of want to play like a good Pokemon game. And unfortunately, I think that most of them are really fucking bad. Has one even been released? So next on the list is Heart Gold Soul Silver, which I am not looking forward to. I think that the gold and silver games are just like really not my cup of tea. A couple of people really like them, but I personally am not a huge fan of them. Similarly, along the same vein, X and Y are soon after that, but in between Heart Gold Soul Silver and X and Y, there is Black and White and Black and White 2. And now this might be the nostalgia goggles, right? My chair is sinking. This might be the nostalgia goggles, but I think that Black and White and Black and White 2 might possibly just be good games. Now, this has been said about many a Pokemon game. And I'm not gonna lie, if I don't like Black and White and Black and White 2, I may have to reevaluate what I value in a Pokemon game. But I've also been, there's a ROM hack that or not a ROM hack, a fan game that I really, really like called Pokemon Vanguard. It's like, I don't know, it's like a 35-hour campaign is probably the best way to describe it, but it's not done yet. We're supposed to get a new update for that in summer. That's supposed to be like another 8 to 10 hours of content. So that'll like keep me occupied for a weekend in June. So that's something for me to look forward to, even if it's not here. But I've been like really craving Pokemon. I've been watching a lot of Pokemon videos as well. Couple people, so I saw a tweet, and you may have also seen this tweet, but it was like, it was like, dude, Forspoken porn is so mid. And then the response to it was like, I need to research Forspoken porn to see if this is true. And then the quote tweet was like, oh my God, this is the best pornographic content I've ever seen in my life. I just thought it was, you brought up Forspoken and my brain went there to what I was so flabbergasted. I literally saw it today. I saw it today at work. I was like, what the fuck am I reading? But that was the exchange. It went giga viral. It had like 20 trillion retweets. It was crazy. Are they still called retweets, even though it's not called Twitter anymore? Are they just called reposts? Surely it's still called a retweet, right? Because they just haven't thought the branding that far out. Because, like, Elon Musk doesn't really know what the fuck he's doing, right? Yeah, they are. They're still called retweets. That's actually really funny. Oh yeah, I mean, like, colloquially, yes, we all use Twitter terms because there's no way in fucking hell I'm gonna stop calling it Twitter. Like, when you type in twitter.com, it takes you to the everything app. So, like, it's still Twitter. But, if you hover over it, it says repost. I see. Bro thinks it's Tumblr. Oh, did you see that fucking 4chan got crazy shit? I don't really know what to explain. I need a drink. I'm yapping and I'm not used to yapping, so my throat's getting parched. I'll be right back. Imagine running your mouth for a living and finally the wrong nerd is set up. I agree. I totally agree. I think that it's kind of crazy that 4chan can even like get hacked. My spelling art quote yesterday Are you possibly talking about this? This little thing? Yep. I thought it was beautiful. Thought it was beautiful. You know? I'll give that a cowboy turtle. One cowboy turtle for you, Mr. Locke. It was a banger. Good lord. Oh man. World break. Seikan Tsukai no world break. Oh boy, what's he sending me? I'm not gonna... There's no way they say the time of judgment has come 3 times. The time of judgment has come, the time of judgment has come, the time of judgment has come. Yin yang kurikara? Dude, this is bad. This is really not good. Oh god, dude. Okay. Okay, so I think that now it's time to discuss options for this stream and or plans for the future. If we end up playing something tonight and or not playing something tonight, regardless, I kind of want to talk about what we're going to be doing going forwards. And I think that, all right, to start, I think that I'm going to start not adhering to a plan, and just kind of doing what I feel like doing, right? Rather than sitting down and playing Xenogears all the way through, or sitting down and playing Pokemon all the way through. I'm just gonna play games. I'm just gonna play some friggin' games, whatever I feel like playing. And although I'm probably going to adhere to some sort of like capability towards that, like I do want to keep on playing Xenogears. I do want to keep on playing Pokemon. I think that me sitting down and being like, oh boy, time to play more Xenogears, oh boy, time to play more Pokemon, can get a little draining and doesn't allow me to do the type of streaming that I want to do. Pokemon retrospective I felt was a tall order. I agree. I knew it was going to be a tall order and I still want to do it. However, to that, I didn't realize how little fun I would have playing some of the Pokemon games. I think that there's a lot of Pokemon that I really don't like. Who's messaging me? Yeah, I felt like at least to some extent, no, you did. I felt like at least to some extent the nostalgia would carry me, and it didn't. Like it genuinely didn't. To the point that I feel like it's hard for me to recommend the series, because there are a lot of really, yeah, exactly, 100%. Nostalgia has an expiration date. There is a time in my life where I felt like I could have done this and probably done it in like a month. But nowadays, not so much. The games are so not up my alley anymore, to the point that I don't think that I even know what I liked about Pokemon when I was young, right? Because I know what I like about Pokemon now a lot, which is like I enjoy interesting team building and battling, as well as some level of exploration and progression. And I think that the base game struggles so much with all 3 of those things, right? Very uninteresting team building and battling 99 times out of 100. Very uninteresting progression. The level curve is not kind of set. It's kind of based around you grinding shit out, which is, you know, as we all know, I'm not really a huge fan of grinding. I just rare candy all my shit in, right? Team building so far, most of the games, something that I've complained about, I think in like literally every game, except for Emerald so far, has been the variety of Pokemon that you get is not good. Now, I will say, from my memory, Black and White and Sun and Moon solved this, which is what I was thinking was going to be my top 2 going into this. But we will see. We will see when we get there. And I think the fact that so many of the other games don't have this, is like really fucking me up. It's like really fucking, I didn't realize how good I had it playing good ROM hacks and good fan games. That like when I went back to the base game, like how fucking bad they were when people didn't improve upon them. So anyway, regardless, that's my 2 cents on Pokemon so far. I am going to continue playing Pokemon. I am still going to continue playing Xenogears. I'd even go as far as to say that Pokemon and Xenogears are still going to be a dominant force in what I'm going to be streaming, because they are things that I want to get through, right? Like I'm still motivated to get through them. Sometimes, however, I feel like I'm gonna need to do something else. And I think that I would like to do things that might seem like they are commitments, but in reality might just be one-shots. And so that was what I was going to pose for stream today, that I would go through the BlazBlue story and just read it. Just read the BlazBlue story. And I'll just like get through like an hour of it, and then we won't deal with it for like another fucking 2 months or 3 months or something. Just because I was like, damn, like that sounds kind of fun. Like I just fucking go do that. But I feel like I'd rather watch Solo Leveling than listen to that. That's a fucking tall bar. Solo Leveling's the GOAT. What am I looking at? How many otters I need? I love Kira. I don't think there's a blue chest in this fight. I might be wrong though. I think it's just MVP or not MVP though. Okay. Sorry. I feel like my life has been answering Granblue questions for the past month. Which is crazy because I feel like I have been slacking very hard in Granblue, and yet I'm still just like I am essentially the wiki. If you did not know, Granblue Fantasy has possibly the most in-depth Wikipedia page ever. Ever. It's insane. You look up literally anything on the wiki for Granblue, gives you a full in-depth guide on how to do everything in the most simple terms possible. And yet I am still the #1 resource for Granblue for everyone I know who plays Granblue. Like most of the time I just link them to the Wikipedia page. I don't even know. It's kind of crazy. What was this? Oh yeah. So BlazBlue, I thought that it would be a little bit funny to go through the BlazBlue story. #1, I do think that the BlazBlue story is very good. BlazBlue is probably my favorite visual novel. Even though visual novel reading content is not the most enjoyable thing to watch, I do think that having a chill stream where I can just like read shit every once in a while might be beneficial, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. Other thing that I know that I talked about, Twilight Princess. Really wanted to play Twilight Princess. And while I might not commit to playing that entire game, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just be like, damn, I'm like just zooming on Twilight Princess. I just want to play this for the time being. Maybe I do that. That's correct. I literally just took a bite out of my burger as soon as you fucking said that. That's so fucking crazy. 2 burgers, 1 plate. Okay. So, what else? Oh, I know you guys are not big into the VTuber sphere. However, Gargura has said that she has an announcement in an hour and a half. Now, I am probably going to be asleep when this happens, but this is big news. This is big news. I don't really know how to explain it in terms of like real people media, but it's pretty much like as if Markiplier said, hey guys, I'm retiring. Which I don't even know if he still makes content, but like Gargura is literally the cap of popularity of VTubers. There's not a single person that has more of a follower base than her. So saying that she has an important announcement coming, little crazy. I took a bite of my burger. What else? I've been seeing a lot of 14 stuff happening recently. A lot of people unhappy with the game, and yet they are going to continue playing it. Interesting, no? Quite interesting that people just don't stop playing the game when they don't like it. Kira's poll for the current tier. It was about M6, right? FF logs. Yeah. I don't remember what I voted for. I think I said something like remove from ASP, but keep it from total, or keep it in total damage. I don't remember what I said. I don't know. Not my ASP, bro. I don't remember what I said. Realistically, I don't think it matters. Because I'm not gonna play. But I do think that Kara, are you tanking? You're tanking this tier? I do think that it's kind of, I think that Parsing's already kind of in the shitter right now. She's a darkie. It's been in the shitter? Yeah, which is why I'm like, I don't think it really matters in the first place, dude. Like I don't think, I think that Kira could have made any decision on his own and people would have complained or not complained about it either way, right? Oh yeah? You get the hundo, you head to FanFest and you fucking just get handies left and right. Every time the first Yan lives and I have to walk with it, I'm saying I'm walking the dog. I'm walking the dog. What else? What else? What else? What else? I've been enjoying my single player Andy life. So maybe I'm gonna get kind of real for a second, if you guys don't mind. Maybe I am just like incredibly burnt out and mentally exhausted, but I feel like nothing has been hitting. Like, I haven't been getting enjoyment / fulfillment / love from the things that I feel like I previously got. I mean, I kind of alluded to that earlier when I was talking about how I felt about streaming and how the day just kind of slipped by. And I think that realistically the answer to this is that I just need to disconnect and then come back and things will be great. But yeah, I don't really know how to explain that in more depth, but I feel like I have been thriving since quitting 14 in terms of being able to manage my time and not being depressed. However, lacking that content and contact has been very lonely, I guess is the best way to put it. And I think that a part of that as well is because I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. But I don't know, that's where my mind's been at recently. Where I kind of miss playing games with friends. I quit League of Legends, quit 14. Easing off of easing off of Granblue. The single player game that I have been playing has been going through the Honkai Impact 3rd story. Which I know that is a gacha game, but I have not been interacting with the gacha. I've literally just been reading it. It's got good parts, it's got bad parts, but I've been reading it. I'd say I'm about, I don't know, 40% of the way through. I'm on like chapter 26. So yeah, I don't think that I'm going to get into WoW. I think that I am at the very least done with, I don't know anything in terms of what chapter is what. So there's 40 chapters of part 1, and the first 20 chapters are all like half the length of the latter 20 chapters. And then part 2 is like post time skip, and they like change all the characters. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. But I am currently, if you know anything about the Honkai Impact 3rd story, I just did the Fuhua arc into the Hersher of Domination arc, and now I am in the Elysian realm. Oh my god, Ricardo. For real, it might be too hard. It might be hard to enjoy much without friends/cool coworkers. Even after a long day/week, seeing the homies helps a lot with mental state. I agree. And it's kind of hard. Don't know how I came in at the right time. Yeah, no, you did. You came in at the right time. Yeah. So real quick, well, let me talk about HI 3rd for 2 seconds before we can start talking about my feelings again. But the Fuhua arc and the Hersher of Sentience, everyone calls her Senti. That's like, that was insane storytelling. I really liked that. I really liked that arc. Like a lot. I thought that Domination was whatever. I was super blah about that entire arc. Elysian Realm is fun, but it's, I don't know. I feel like I'm just going through the motions. But the Fuhua arc and the Senti arc were very, very good. I really liked that. But with regards to feelings, I feel like it's hard for me to enjoy anime now. Hard for me to enjoy games now. I don't know how to meet new people. Cooking takes up a lot of my time. It's, I feel like all the things that I used to really enjoy are kind of losing their glimmer. And that's like, I don't know if scary's the right word, because like I've kind of come to terms with it. It's not like I'm afraid. It's just kind of sad. It's just kind of sad. Elysian Realm was pretty good. So far, I'm 50-50 on it. Yeah, so far I'm 50-50 on it. I think that it's because this is the year your frontal lobe fully developed. I think that is technically true, right? That's literally true. Right, at the latest, men fully develop their frontal lobe at 25. That's like literally true, no? Yeah. Right, women it's 19, men it's 25. I'm just lucky to TO and play FGC stuff to see people. For anime, I get burst to see some new episodes. No, women is still 25. I could have sworn that women was younger. Maybe I'm crazy. Yeah, I'll admit that's something that I miss a lot. That's something that I miss an insane amount. TOing. I miss TOing so much. I miss TOing, and to a lesser extent, I miss I miss raid leading. There's like some research, if you're neurodivergent, the age could be pushed up a bit further than 25. You are crazy, but it's not that much further. I see. A woman with a fully developed frontal at 19. I mean, I don't know why I thought that women were earlier. But maybe you're not certain about the future in terms of rewarding versus life. Why you're mature for your age? I'm a fucking child, dude. But I have so much to learn. I have so much to learn about life and maturing and everything. What was I about to say? Fuck. So I guess that's something that I'm like kind of doomer about. I feel very millennial brained about this. That I have a good job. I have a stable job with good opportunity for growth. I have all of my needs fulfilled. I have good time balancing. Like, it's not like I have very much work that I need to take home very often, right? And yet I'm still feeling like, damn, is this all there is? So the world would not be ready for 19-year-old me. Unfortunately, they did get 19-year-old you 6 years ago. Men are more often marginally longer than 25, but 25 is about the median for human brains to fully develop. I see. So what you're saying is it's all downhill. It's all downhill from here. Now my brain's just gonna start deteriorating. If we were stuck with 19-year-old me, we may not be friends. How? So I think the flip side of that works as well. I don't know. When I was 19, I was very, I mean, what's it called? Locke, you knew me when I was 19. Right? Maybe I was 21. No, I had to have been 19. It was 2019. It was definitely 2019. It was very brief. I was 19. It was only 3 months of me being 19, but I was a little shit. Let's be real for a second. I was a little shit. Way more immature than I am now. But I do think that once I was 19, I entered college at 17. 2 years of being in school and meeting new people and caring for myself, I started to be a lot more open about learning other people's lives, and not kind of just taking them at face value, I guess is the best way to put that. I used to be very stuck in my ways, my way or the highway kind of guy. And now, so I think that I am the opposite of that. Yeah. At about 28 years, I'm still feeling settled in life. No girlfriend or deep family connections, might be missing in life, but not needed. Life feels much better once my job gave me good pay, etc. Yeah. I was definitely very emotional. Also, it got much better after COVID. Lucky RNG. You kind of got a crash course in growing up and maturing after your dealio with the mongrels in your life. Yeah. I think that the initial stretch of when we were recruiting for the FC. So this is pre-Snake of Ether that I'm considering the start of said crash course, where I felt like I started to get I started to meet people that were just mean for no reason. And I think that was the point in my life where I started to twist my worldview a little bit, where it was like, I need to tell these guys off, you know? Oh no, I agree. I think that I still have way more to learn, but that was definitely a turning point for me when I started just in general meeting mean people. And I was like, I can't, because at that point that was when I was still building Smash.FGC, and I was like, I just need to pander myself towards the largest audience possible. Doesn't matter who they are. Eventually, I'll be able to kind of make a breakthrough with them. And at some point I started to realize I think I kind of need to stand up for the people I care about. And then the Snake of Ether happened. And I'm not going to say that was my first betrayal, but it was definitely the most lasting one, where I kind of just got scapegoated. And yeah, I learned a lot about that. And then there was the post Snake of Ether schism with Cisco and Rodbod versus Dane. But I wasn't a dick at 19, but I would not have vibed with the whole Monka and all good fridge vague hand motions. Are you saying Monka and doesn't vibe? No, I was still nice and still somewhat socially righteous. I wouldn't say that I've ever truly been nice. I think that at my core, I'm pretty self-righteous. Probably a bit arrogant. Pushover is the better turn. Now or before? Or both? Before? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that I'm nearly as much of a pushover anymore. But I think that I kind of agree. I think that I think that I was fine letting people walk all over me. Like, it wasn't like I was unable to look out for myself. It was that I was just so okay with it. I was like, I thought that was just the way it had to be. And then I don't know. I grew up a little bit. And then obviously post schism, I had that whole shabacle with Avery as well. So I guess I had a lot of events in quick succession in school. Yeah, I was. I don't think I got more jaded. Yeah, no, I think you're right about that. I think that I've actually gotten quite a bit less jaded. I think that there was a very large chunk of time when I was like, there's nothing to this. Right? Yeah, there was like a chunk of time where I was like, I've seen it all, I know it all. Doesn't matter. This is all there is to it. And my worldview kinda shattered. Yeah, I mean, you win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. It's crazy how it applies to every situation. It's crazy how it applies to every situation. But, like a horoscope, yeah, kinda. I mean, like, unironically, yeah. I think that horoscopes 9 times out of 10 are just you win some, you lose some. No? Am I wrong about that? I don't really follow horoscopes, but they are like so broad that they can apply to everything, right? Like, you win some, you lose some. Most of the ones in the paper sauce and lime. Once I hit 25, life seemed different. Don't know if my environment was better in terms of people's not being negative about stuff. Don't know the right words, bro. No, I think the frontal lobe fully developing is definitely a real shift that I wasn't like super ready for. Today you'll be confronting a difficult decision, but don't worry, you'll find a way through. May not be the result you want, but you'll be okay. You should become a fortune teller and scam people for several thousands of dollars to say you win some, you lose some. My last math class, I'm pretty sure I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it anyway, and you guys are going to listen because you are my friends. In my last math class in school, there was this girl. She was very religious, okay? Very religious. And she was coming on to me, right? She was trying to get a piece of this Dane Lugman, right? And something that she was very adamant about was that horoscopes were real. And I was like, OMG, what sign do you think I am? Right? It started with me being like, it's all bullshit, right? Like, all horoscopes are fucking bullshit. Star signs are fucking bullshit. I don't give a fuck, right? And so she was like, no, like they're so real. And I was like, oh my God, what star sign do you think I am? She was like, Scorpio. I don't remember. I think I said that I was Scorpio. She was like, Aries. And I was like, oh my God, yeah. And then she was like, oh really? And I was like, no, I'm fucking Scorpio. And then she was like, oh, that is such a Scorpio thing to do. And I was like, I'm not fucking Scorpio, I'm Aquarius, it's all bullshit. They're like, oh my God, dude. Maybe you can attempt to do stuff you used to love and see if there's a local spot that can help feel the vibes. I don't think so. Hi, Azalea. That is so Mercury retrograde. So my mom is really big. I'll get back to what you said, Ricardo, really quickly. But my mom is super into horoscopes, and she was like having a bad day. She's like not super deep into it. Like she doesn't even know what Mercury being in retrograde fucking means, dude. But like she was having a bad day. And I told her about that. I was like, you know, a lot of people say like Mercury is in retrograde or whatever. This was like ages ago. And she was like, oh my God, I think that's it. I think that's literally it. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. But I am going to be completely transparent, Ricardo. I think that FGC is straight up behind me. I think that FGC is literally over for me. I don't think that I'll ever come back into it. Oh my God, you don't even know how to spell Gary. Gary has 2 R's. It's Gary, bruh. Bruh doesn't even know. I got into a dumb high school relationship because of that. Me and Gary are both Leos, and the girl was girls was dumbfounded by that. I see. Build FGC in Austin, Minnesota. I could, 100%. I think that there is a scene for it. However, I think I'm done. I don't think that I want any part of it anymore. I think that the part that I enjoyed is like literally gone. And I don't know really how to elaborate on that, but like, I think that the destruction of a true community from FGC, because FGC is not mods. Can you ban that guy, please? I really don't want to deal with it. Thank you, Kara. I appreciate it. The mainstream nature of fighting games now, as opposed to the grassroots community building that they used to be, has enabled them to become nothing, which I hate. And I have kind of talked about this for a long time, for a while, but I don't know. You see my business vision here as a fortune teller, Mr. Locke. As a priest, you got to do all the priest stuff to get the title, or you can be a preacher, pastor. They all start with a P. Yeah, I don't know. Does what I'm saying make sense? Like, Smash isn't good anymore because all the characters, Smash isn't good anymore because every top player got added as a pedophile. Every top player and commentator got added as a pedophile. And as a result of that, everyone kind of stayed away from it. And this isn't an instance of like letting other people's perception of things destroy my enjoyment of them. It was just kind of like the community was something that I really valued in Smash Bros. And like the overarching storyline of like improving to an aspiration, like a top player. And then every single role model got deleted from the game. And so now it just kind of feels like a waste of time. Stuff with hacks just happened, and I guess that's another thing that I don't really like. Something that I've talked about previously, when the first big pedophile, predator, whatever outbreak happened in Smash, I talked about this on stream. I went on like a 3-hour long conversation about it. Smash is still cursed locally now? No, I'm still gonna talk about this. I talked about the insane lack of accountability that people get because they are top players. Like people just get to, like people who have had no accolades whatsoever, but are social media popular or present, get insane opportunities and get away with absolutely insane shit. This isn't just in Smash. I'm just using Smash as an example. And I have never enjoyed that at all. I think that fighting games and Smash are inherently cliquey in nature, and something that I always kind of strived to get rid of when I was TOing was to destroy that. Because there's literally nothing less enjoyable when joining a community than having everyone shut you out, right? An inherently social thing is forces you to be social, to do your passion. And having everyone be like, oh, you're new here? whatever, like, screw you, fuck off, sort of deal. Like, that's just not what they're about in my head, but I guess that's what everyone else really likes. They like being a part of the in crowd because they were fucking broke-ass, worthless scumfuck human beings in grade school. They got bullied, and so they want to bully everyone else. But, I don't know, seeing how quickly my vision for, oh, my bad. Yeah. I would have never joined if you weren't there and when you left, smile. That's actually really crazy. Azalea, I don't know if you remember this, but can you guys hear me? Are ads running like for everyone? Is that just like over for me? Do I just need to pause? Yeah, I've got 2 minutes left. Okay, 2 minutes on ads. We'll resume convo when we're back. I've got 8 viewers? Who the fuck's watching this? Well, 1 minute left. I like this fucking saxophone coming in. Are ads off, by the way? Can you guys hear me? It says ads are another 20 seconds. I need you guys to tell me when ads are over. I don't know, you got 15 seconds. We can just wait. But my first thing that I wanted to bring up was that I don't even know how to phrase it. My first thing that I wanted to bring up with regards to me like not being a part of Smash FGC anymore is that my motivation to be a part of a community that so quickly turned on me dwindled a lot. Like seeing how hard I tried to something that was brought up consistently when I was making Smash FGC was that I need to make a separate Discord server something for the quote-unquote in crowd, because some people weren't a part of the in crowd and it felt like they were encroaching upon the clique. And I was so anti-clique, right? That I think there's one thing of having a small server with like a couple of your friends. It's another thing to be like, these are the cool kids and only they're allowed to be in here. And literally the second that I handed off the reins, that server got made. My server stayed and the Cool Kids Club got made. And seeing how quickly it just like, I handed off the reins, boom, a clique immediately, a ruling class was formed. I was just flabbergasted how all of my work could be destroyed in seconds. And the sad part is that exists everywhere. That exists in not just Smash fighting games, but in a lot of social circles. And something that I really wanted from Smash FGC was just a complete and total community-oriented hobby, I guess. Just, you know, like you could just go someplace and just have a good time with a bunch of people. Get that social fix thing that people desperately need. Now, follow up to this, Azalea just said, I would have never joined if you weren't there and when you left, smile. It's crazy that you said that, Azalea, because I don't know if you remember this, but you used to tell me that the only reason you joined was because of Cisco. Cisco telling you to stay when you played PM with him. I've got a pretty good memory on stuff like that. So I appreciate you saying that, that I was the reason that you stuck around. I did put in a shit ton of work to ensure that everyone felt like they were welcomed. But I guess it wasn't all for, I guess it wasn't all for nothing, right? Got a couple of good things out of it. But, that's just on a community level thing. From a more professional thing with regards to Smash/FGC, there is a scourge of the genre that, and this isn't an issue of just Richmond FGC, this is an issue of all FGC as a whole. This is an issue of the genre, that fighting games are trends. They are fads. There are big games that have a lot of money behind them, right? ArcSys does very, very well. ArcSys games, no matter what, doesn't matter if it's Guilty Gear or DNF Duel, ArcSys games are always going to quote unquote do well. Capcom games are always going to do well, no matter what, right? Bandai Namco games are always going to do well, no matter what. These are the three big publishers that are always going to kind of stay on top. Everything else, even within these realms, Bandai Namco and Capcom and ArcSys as well, when they release a new game, everyone moves over to it. And while I think that this is a good thing inherently to have more genre diversity, I do think that the games that are being made are preying on the fact that they are, thank you so much, Kara. You really don't need to subscribe, but I really appreciate it. They are preying on the fact that people are always going to get the new one because it's a new fighting game, you know, it's a new experience to have fun with. And that creates a trend of, oh, people are going to buy the new game. I think we'll buy the new game. And then it becomes less about devoting yourself towards something and improving on something, which I think that in its essence is an amazing community effort. Having a community that strives to improve and will make you better in turn and will motivate you to do something towards a common goal, like that's literally why raiding is fun, right? Like that's like literally why raiding is fun in 14. It's just that 14 is PvE and fighting games are PvP. Like that is like the core essence of it. And bouncing between game to game to game to game because it's just looking for a new experience, looking for a new dopamine rush, and like not providing any depth to the games themselves. The games are bad. Like it's not an issue of the player base jumping between. It's that the games are bad. They don't incentivize you to stick around. They are meant to be a fad. I can't make my life about a fad, dude. Like I'm done. I'm not gonna shit on people who decide to stick with these games. But like, fucking, what it was like DNF Duel into Granblue. Before that was Melty Blood. Before that was blah, 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 blah. That was the reason I didn't immediately leave, but I don't think I would have really talked to anyone if I couldn't have leaned on you and been clingy, for a lack of a better phrasing. For the fighting game thing, I wish people played Granblue Rising because it's so hard to find a community, and since I play 2B, I go to the 2B Discord and it's just a graveyard. Meanwhile, I look at the Zoe Discord pop off constantly. Yeah. I think that 2B is a rough instance because unlike in Undernight, where zoners are heralded as fucking gods, and everyone loves all the zoner characters in that game, ignore Batista, but all of the zoners in that game except for Batista are very, very well liked, and all the zoners in traditional fighting games are considered like the scourge of the earth, right? And 2B is undoubtedly a zoner character, so I think that if you play an unliked character, it becomes really, really hard, which is another thing. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say that Granblue Versus isn't a good game, because that's just not true. It is. Frankly, it's one of the best fighting games we've gotten in a really long time. Now, that being said, the game is intentionally very easy. It's intentionally lack of depth. It's supposed to be very accessible. That's the way the game is. There isn't a whole lot of shit to lab. A lot of it's just decision-making gap. You can just kind of hop in and play. And while there's a lot of game knowledge to be had, there aren't like crazy set play or situations that you really need to lab against. You just need to play a fuck ton, right? And so, I don't know. If you really like Granblue Versus, then you should play Granblue Versus. But I do think that there is an inherent hatred of archetypes of characters in simple games, right? In Guilty Gear Xrd, for example, in Xrd, if you hated a zoner character, I'm thinking Dizzy, right? I'm thinking Axel. Trying to think of other zoner characters that, I mean, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest here. Kai is a fucking zoner in Xrd. You can't even tell me that. I'm going on Dustloop. Dustloop, Xrd. Who are even the fucking characters in Rev 2? Okay. Tuner, Elfelt, Soul, Kai, Ram, Raven, Sin, Johnny, May, Leo, Chip, Milia, Biken. Biken's pretty defensive, not a zoner though. Answer, not a character. Zato, whatever. Venom, set play zoner oriented, right? I think the real zoners in Xrd are Jacko, Dizzy, Venom, Axel, right? So, and Kai as well. I think that Kai is very zony. Like, let's just be completely transparent here. Kai is a zoner, right? He's barely a Shoto. He's a zoner. So those 5 characters, all 5 of those characters in Xrd are not liked characters, for sure. All 5 of the characters are not liked characters, but the answer to every single one of them is never a, oh my god, like, fuck this character, I don't want to play it, except for Kai. People really don't like Kai. Kai might be the most hated character in Xrd. Like, outside of Kai, the other characters are just get good. Like, just abuse them, right? Just abuse them with your characters. Your character's also broken. Now, I'll say, I think the most recent patch of Xrd Rev 2 is probably not the best patch for them to have ended on, but like, regardless, that's kind of the mentality for older games. Like, the game is the way it is. You learn and you get better against them. But I think that a lot of the fact that these games get patched every so often and the entire meta gets shaken up, and you can just pray that the characters that you don't like just become worse, or the characters that you play become better, doesn't incentivize like adapting and improving at all. It makes the games a trend, a fad. A new patch comes out, everyone comes back to a game to enjoy the new flashy thing rather than sticking with it and being devoted to it, which is kind of what fighting games are all about, at least in my opinion. I don't know. That was a long 30-minute rant. Azalea, I appreciate that I was able to be a good friend to you when you were joining the Smash/FGC group. I'm sorry that things didn't work out with them for the better. Especially considering I think that, not recently, but it seems like there is rising and falling tension in our current friend group. Many a time kind of goes back and forth, but I think that can all be benefited from better communication as well. So, I don't know. That was my rant on fighting games in Smash though, as a whole. I think that the community fucking sucks. I think that the games fucking suck. I think that the publishers abuse the player base and the games and feedback loop into those things. And so if I'm being transparent about all of that, I think that if I was to ever get back into fighting games, a serious paradigm shift would have to happen. I didn't mean for this to be a rant episode. I was just throwing ideas at the wall. Oh no, for sure. I just wanted to talk about it. If I didn't want to talk about it, I would have said I didn't want to talk about it. And yeah, I know that Maximilian dude does not agree with me. I think that Maximilian dude is one of the OG Capcom shills. I'm not gonna lie, I think that was the first time that I was like, I don't like this guy. I think that was like actually the first time that I was like, this guy fucking sucks. When Street Fighter V came out and like Sajam and a lot of other prominent figureheads in the community were like, this game fucking sucks comparatively to Ultra Street Fighter 4, right? And he was like, he was one of the only people that was like, nah, dude, Capcom's awesome. They give me money to talk well about their game. Like, I dislike his content, but I also like just don't like Maximilian, dude, like at all. I don't like his content. I don't like what he stands for. I don't like his blatant defending of companies that abuse their player base. I don't like him. I don't like him. And yeah, we haven't spoken in person since it wasn't pre-schism. It had to have been post me getting excommunicated from the group. So what? 3 years? 4 years? 4 years? 4 years sounds right. Damn, I like got a wave of sadness. Like it welled up. It literally welled up from my stomach. I felt like I was about to throw up. I felt it like come into my throat. When I looked at the Exard roster, I'm actually just gonna bring it up on screen. Literally just looking at the character select screen made me like want to vomit because of like how sad it was that something I cared about so deeply got like literally ripped away from me. Like that's so, it was like the most violent ripping away from me ever as well. Just play the old games. The game still exists, dude. You can still go play the old game, man. It's okay, not the first group I lost, won't be the last, and I agree with the sentiment about hopping around fighting games. I'm admittedly not good at fighting games at all, but it's hard to get good or have fun because by the time I try to begin being good or even figuring if I like the game, they're on a different game. As for the 2B Discord, it's not even that people aren't talking about mechs, people just don't talk, period. And talking to other players and saying I play 2B as it does. Exactly! That last sentence is exactly what I was talking about. Last sentence is exactly what I'm talking about. When you're like, hey, you guys might... It's like saying you play Arakune, or Carl, or Mai. Where's, Cross Tag, dude? Dude, if you say you play Mai, Carl, Arakune in BlazBlue, this game's already really niche. If you say you play these characters, it's over. It's, like, actually over. Like, people just won't play against you. The only thing that people know, Naoto, S, Numbers, Ragna, Jin, Hakumen. Those are the only characters that people respect anymore. All the other characters, if you play any of the other characters, it's either they fucking hate playing against you, or they assume that you're really fucking bad and you're just gonna drop the game. I've been on a boomer game war. While yes, you can go back, but finding the right people can be hard. Yeah, it is. It is very hard. And you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy to me, dude? You know what's so crazy to me, bro? I could have sworn that everyone said that all these games, all these old games, were gonna be so popular once they got rollback. That rollback was the only reason why people didn't play these old games. Crazy that rollback came out and it wasn't an immediate fix for people picking the new shiny toy. Doesn't fucking matter. Does not fucking matter, dude. Does literally nothing fucking matters. They could release the most dog shit game with the most dog shit netcode. Doesn't fucking matter. People would still play it if it was the new Guilty Gear, if it was the new Street Fighter, if it was the new Tekken. So fucking sad, dude. I do really like BlazBlue. BlazBlue is always my game. Unfortunately, Ramlethal Valentine was in Guilty Gear Xrd, so I devoted a lot of time to that. Who knows? Maybe it'd be cool to get back into this game, even if it was just like from my own perspective, just like labbing combos and playing fucking hitting buttons. But I doubt that I'm ever going to seriously get back into playing fighting games. It's just not real. It's just not real. I don't. It also kind of sucks because I think that something that I really enjoyed in fighting games was doing really long combos, and I think that I just don't have the time to like do that anymore. Like if I was to get back into the game, I'd probably play some version of a Shoto, right? So some version of these characters. What's crazy is that the new VCU people did so well in a regional BBCF bracket. Who's the new people? People that I would know or no? Yeah? That's awesome. Happy for them. Sorry, happy is a bit of a stretch. I feel literally no opinion on them. They're so far removed from my mind. But it's good that they did well. No flame. I really don't want to have that get clipped and sent around and have people in my DMs telling me to get their name out of their fucking mouth. I don't know. I didn't mean for this to turn into rant stream. Rod is one of them. Well, that is one of the guys that I really despise, but good for him. I'm happy for him. This was good. I'm glad that I got to talk with y'all. I'm sorry that I didn't play a game, but honestly, I feel like talking. I need to get to the point that I can play games and do this at the same time. When I watch streamers that I really enjoy, not to defend him, but he did kind of grow a bit, don't care. Literally don't care. Took like 5 years, I think. Yeah. Sorry, what I was saying before. A lot of streamers that I talk about, or that I watch, are so good at just like talking about anything and playing the game. I do think that a lot of the games that I play tend to require me to lock in on the game, like when there's text on screen and I need to read it. Maybe I just need to play different games so that I can just like talk over top of it. I don't know, I guess that's why just chatting is so fucking popular, so that you don't have to be good at it. You can just sit there and talk. And like, I'll be completely transparent. I feel like these streams are always my most watched/enjoyed streams. Whenever I do a just chatting stream, when I've just like literally talked with chat for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I feel like it's like way more enjoyable for me, way more enjoyable for stream. I get more average viewers. Now, I don't do them nearly as often as my other streams, so obviously extremely low sample size, and maybe the novelty of it kind of keeps it being a little bit higher in numbers than normal. But like, this is what I value in streaming, if I'm being completely honest. The issue is that once I do one of these, I feel like I have nothing to talk about for the next 2 months. So that's when I just kind of start fucking streaming games. I don't know how people can do this every single day. Makes no sense. Yeah, no, I think that when I'm being transparent and communicating is definitely my strong suit, as a person and as a streamer. I think that I like being intimately close with people, and I like hearing about other people's experiences, and I like it when other people take an interest in my experiences. Now, when I stream, you guys don't really take an interest in it. You guys are kind of forced to my ramblings. You're just subject to it. But I think I like having this kind of view into each other's lives and opinions on topics. I don't know. What was I even talking about? I don't know. We were talking about FGC. Well, what was I talking about before that? I was talking about my feelings, about how it's kind of hard sometimes. Oh, right. We were talking about how I feel like I don't have a lot of the enjoyment of things that I used to. / I think that a lot of things aren't really giving me the same thrill that I used to get. And that's kind of hard to come to terms with. I don't know. I would love to get back into fighting games and have that be the same way I felt about it in 2013, 2012. But I think that the real answer is that that's just not feasible. Which stinks, but I think that's just life. You know, you go through phases. I quit Final Fantasy XIV. Didn't think that was ever going to happen, but same thing happened. In fighting games, my character gets deleted. Game mechanics get changed. Developers feel like they don't listen to player base and alienate veterans. Not top players, veterans. Those are two separate groups. 14, my character gets deleted. Developers fucking alienate veterans. Feels like game mechanics are getting changed / removed that I really cared about. It's just the nature of me, I suppose. It's just the nature of me, I suppose. All right, well, unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about. Dane, when is the stream starting? There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say, I streamed way longer than I thought I was going to. Unless you guys have any more shit you want to talk about, I'm probably just gonna go to bed. Talk about the economics of Australia. I don't have too much insight into the economics of Australia. If you want to keep going, trigger a rant. Best sleeping position. So I sleep with a mouth guard. So I'm a little biased on this because I think that your posture when sleeping, if you don't use a mouth guard, has to naturally not induce clenching. So I am going to say side / stomach is best sleeping position. But that's only because I wear a mouth guard. If not, then I'm going to say back. Black Mage thoughts? I mean, I've kind of talked about this before. And yeah, Riggs has talked about it with me. I'm also not stupid. Like, I can kind of glean how it works based off of, like, all the changes. And I also saw the reason on the patch notes they said it. I think that, so let's start with the reason. They said explicitly, right? They said explicitly that they were making the jobs more mobile oriented because they didn't want to feel like they were pigeonholed into making mechanics that had to keep in mind immobile classes, right? They said these fights are just, frankly, there's too much movement to have an immobile class in the game, right? So they changed it. This tier is a lot of movement. It is a lot more than previous tiers. I have not done it. This is strictly based off what I've seen. Kara, you have done the tier. If you feel like there is more or less movement, you can weigh in on this. But yeah, exactly. There's a lot of stuff that can kind of halt you, right? So I see where they're coming from. However, I do think that was kind of the point, right? I think that it was kind of the point. The word homogenization gets thrown around a lot, and I kind of don't like that people point towards job homogenization as the sole reason that the game isn't doing well. But job homogenization is a super real issue that exists within the game. And the fact that there isn't a single class for every type of player, but rather all the classes are for one type of player, doesn't make sense to me a whole lot. Like, I think that Black Mage should exist for people that like playing a turret class, because that is the job fantasy of the turret class, right? To sit still, have a long cast time, and do big damage. That's what Black Mage was, right? To be honest, that's what White Mage was as well, right? That is the job fantasy of those classes, to sit still, do a really, really long cast, and do a lot of damage or do a lot of healing, just have a lot of potency, right? They have deleted that aspect from the game. And that's where I'm drawing an issue from. What am I clicking on?
Let's see. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. You only got 3 things on this menu.
Cute. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me that I felt, that it feels like they're not trying to make something for everyone, but rather trying to make everything for someone. And I've kind of felt this way for a while. The content is the same it's been, and in some ways it's even less per patch. Yeah, and that's a different issue than what I was talking about. That is like 100% an issue. But I think that not having something for everyone really fucking sucks. It's the reason that I'm gone. I felt like there wasn't something for me anymore. They took away all the things that were for me. So, as a dirty ARAM player, maybe I should avoid 14 from this night talk. I don't know, it's kind of up to you. Dude, was Abyssos hard? Like, P8S damage check was hard. Okay, but like, how do I say this without sounding like super fucking full of myself? But like, a hard DPS check does not constitute that something is challenging. Like, I enjoy a hard DPS check, but that's not what like challenging content means to me. And yes, I agree. I thought that reasoning was so funny. They were like, well, like we all cleared it and we thought we were bad, so like we assumed that you guys would be able to clear it. Were like the words that they used. I thought that was very funny. But I don't know. I don't think that something having a difficult DPS check is grounds for it being actually difficult. Yeah, that was true. That was the first year that we had access to tome weapons on week 1. I don't know. Everyone experiences difficulty in different ways. But, and maybe I shouldn't talk about this, because right, like if you sorry, Kara, I'm gonna, I don't mean to be rude, but like some people struggle with damage a little bit more than others, right? Some people struggle with damage a little bit more than others, right? I don't mean to be rude about this, right? So like maybe, right? Maybe, let's see the deaths actually, just to make sure, right? Only 2 deaths, and they were both on Warrior, okay? Both were on Warrior. There is a world where this could have also been higher than Bard, right? Difficulty is subjective. Difficulty is subjective. Some people really struggle doing damage. Some people really struggle doing mechanics. Everyone on this list has cleared this fight, and I have not. Okay? Objectively speaking, they have cleared more content than me. Right? Right? So, you know, everything is subjective. Maybe I struggled with the fight a little bit more than everyone else, and that's why my mental broke, right? But content is just a time sink? Yeah, if you're fucking bad, it is. It's not supposed to be a time sink. This fight was cleared in 3 days blind. Can't believe you didn't whitelist FF logs from your ad block. Yeah, poor Kira, poor Kira. So I guess it's hard for me to like make a true opinion, but with regards to Black Mage though, with regards to Black Mage and to job design in general, no, I agree, Locke. This is kind of the point that I was making, that content in 14 has literally never been hard, ever. At least none of the content that I've done, right? It's about the no, like I completely agree with you, right? 100% I agree with you. When it's people that I enjoy playing with, then it's nice, right? Now taking that long is a little grating, but exactly, I'm not gonna play just to play, right? I'm not gonna play just to play. Taking that long is grating, but if I'm playing with people that I enjoy playing with, then it's nice. But that being said, the content has always been super fucking easy. The only level of like personal agency has been from playing your job super well, right? And normally the jobs have been, our T-Prog would make you think it wasn't that easy. Locke, we started T, didn't we started T late December, early January? I don't remember. December? And we ended February 7th. We cleared T in 2 months, man. Right, and then that dumbass, right? I forgot her name. Who was like, oh, I thought you meant New Year's. I just don't check Discord for a week. We cleared T in 2 months. And I thought that was one of the worst progs I had ever done. I didn't realize how much worse it could get. I literally didn't realize how much worse it could get. That's true. We did do 6 hours a night. We did do 6 hours a night, 6 days a week. But we did still clear in 2 months. Yeah, that was rough. I mean, we played with really bad players. And also, like, I don't know. It was just a lot. It was just a lot. Yeah, I was fucking crying. Dude, that shit was awful. How many hours log did it take for you guys to clear? Is there a way I can check that? I mean, I can do quick maths, right? 6 times 30. So yeah, 200 give or take. Exactly. I don't know, regardless. And that, for record, Kara, that was everyone's first ultimate. That was everyone's first ultimate. Except for our fucking glorious white mage that was about as useful as a fucking, I don't know, analogy for something useless. Oh, good God. Fucking Sun Praiser. I've told this story before. He really was the nicest guy ever. Poor Sun. He was so fucking stupid, dude. He might be the most stupid person I've ever met. Which is really, I've met some fucking dumbasses in my life, dude. That guy might be the most stupid guy I've ever met. Poor guy. I literally was just like, hey, like, I'm sorry, but like, you're just like not good enough to do this content. And then he quit the game. Yeah, fuck Mr. Happy, by the way. I forgot about that. Good God. Yeah, I agree. I mean, how was I supposed to know that Colby was a piece of shit, dude? Like, genuinely, how was I supposed to know that? From a Kotank perspective, he was terrible. Yeah, I mean, he was the reason we didn't clear a lot earlier. He was definitely the weakest link in a group full of weak links. Bro did literally fucking nothing. Yup. Yup. The literal week of us dying to stillness. Because he wouldn't give up that last fell cleave. Yep. Yep. I remember. No worries. We cleared on emotion first, by the way. I don't know. Have I been that mad since then? I think that's like the last time I had like a serious crash out. Like a serious losing my marbles moment. I don't know. When was the last time I got like super heated? Beyond Limits, Eden's Promise? In E12? In E12, I had like an explosion moment. Dude, I don't even remember. Yep, that was my co-healer. I don't know what happened. I know that we always talk about this in retrospect, but like something happened. Like something literally happened where she, like, maybe she just really cared about her maybe she just like really cared about her her week 1 parse, and like I just hadn't seen it because we hadn't done week 1 together. But like she changed the way she played. Like it was really rough. And then I remember in E11 in Fatebreaker when Oni and I figured out Brain Dead, and then Kono was like, no, that's not gonna work. We're just gonna run in a fucking circle and pray. Okay, bro. Yeah, I learned how to do the mechanic. Yeah, I think that was really rough. I think that, okay. So the reason that I was like, I don't remember crashing out is because I remember a moment of like absolute supreme, self-control when Oni and I figured out how to do E12 too. And we were explaining how to do all the relativities. And Tabby comes back and is like, sounds like you guys are done explaining. Let's clear. And I was like, did you like not like listen to anything? And she was like, no, I don't really learn from like having things explained to me. So I'm just gonna go in blind and then we can figure it out. And I didn't explode there. And frankly, I think that I deserve a Nobel Peace Prize for that. No? Oh yeah, for sure we did. For sure we did. But I didn't have an outburst, which I think is worth mentioning. Dude, one of those moments where I was so mad that my body temperature started rising. There were many groups. There were many moments in that group where that happened, but that's the one that I remember because of how much self-control I had. I love being the strap monkey and then no one listens to the monkey. Well, the thing was, with E12 at least, Miss Kara, I don't know if you remember week 1 for that, but like, not that it was super exclusive or anything, but like Hector didn't really exist. And like Junebab would like put into a lot more of his effort into like doing stuff. So like week 1, we didn't really like we were essentially blind on E12. Like real talk, we were essentially blind on E12. Yeah, Xenostrats for Lions were like fucking go to the edge of the arena in Tomahawk for fucking 20 GCDs. Like, whatever, bro. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, we didn't have Lions. And like E12 2, we were basically blind on. So like, Oni and I were fucking like going really crazy. Like Oni and I throughout that entire year, I think the only fight that I wasn't like popping off on in terms of like strat making and like figuring out mechanics was 9. I fucking sucked at 9, dude. But 10, 11, 12, I remember Oni and I like going really crazy with like strat generation. Dude, I just remember that day 1 Kona fucking overslept the entire day after taking off. But I don't know, it's all in the past. It's all in the past. Anyway, point I was making was that in regards to content and job homogenization, there isn't a class for everyone anymore. So let me just... So like, melee, range, caster, tank, healer, right? These classes are inherently, yeah, we had like a literal crackhead as our dragoon. These classes, like every single one of these classes is just hit boss, right? Hit boss. Right? 1, 2, 3, 2-minute burst. Right? Range is just hit 1. Sometimes you hit 2, and other times you're machinist. Right? That's 1, 2 / machinist. Caster is, I mean, quite frankly, casters just hit 1 now. I guess to some extent it's a 1-2. Right? Like jolt into Ver Thunder, jolt into Ver Arrow, phase swapping and then fire 4 spam. Picto just does their 1-1-1 combo because all their buttons are consolidated. What's the last one? Summoner. Summoner's just 1-1-1 no matter what. 1-2, and that's being generous to Red Mage. Which, like, listen, me being generous to red mage, that's a big step for me. That's a big step for me. Tanks. 1, 2, 3. 1 minute burst. Healers. 1. This is every class in the game. Like, this is literally all of them. Viper is just a lot of buttons. Viper is 3 buttons. Consolidated. 4 buttons. They're all just consolidated. They're just PvP combos. I don't know. I think that, you've never PvP. You make a good point. You make a good point. The one thing with caster, so like going back to the old days, and Locke will tell you about this as well. Something that I was very proud of back in my day, very, very proud of back in my day, was that there used to be this class in the game called Scholar. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about it. This class used to exist in Final Fantasy XIV called Scholar. And they used to have this button called Broil. And it was your entire GCD. It was 2.5 seconds. It was 2.5 seconds, right? And the benefit of Scholar was that you had to choose between using Broil, which did more damage, or using Ruin 2, which lets you move or weave, right? My Broil usage optimization, Locke, please back me up on this. I am not just tooting my own horn. I was fucking insane at Scholar. Like, genuinely, I was so fucking good at Scholar, dude. Like, people complimented me on Scholar. Can you even be complimented in the current state of 14? Tell me one compliment that is meaningful to you. Tell me one compliment that is meaningful to you in 14 at the current moment. Is there anything that someone could say to you in current state 14 that would make you happy about the way you play the game? Like, oh my god, dude, your black mage is so cool. I love how you use Fire 4 and then Despair. Oh my god, you're so good at healing. You hit Expedience when I need to sprint. Yo, the way you hold aggro on tank, mwah, masterpiece. Oh, I saw you hit that one positional that you have in your kit now because they removed all of them. Whoa, didn't know we had a melee pro over here. Oh my god, did you not drop your dots on Bard? Wow, wow, amazing, amazing. Like, is there a single thing that you have to work for in this game? No, nothing. There's no decision making, there's no optimization, there's no difference between the classes, there's no range of skill expression. There's nothing, dude. You say that, but tanks in Dawntrail still struggle with aggro management. Everyone in Dawntrail struggles with everything. That's always been the issue. The player base struggles with every piece of content that is thrown at them. Why do they keep on trying to accommodate for them? The easier you make it, the more they're going to struggle. Skill expression is back. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of skill expression in the second trio of Thornton as well. For 2 people where they run around the arena and 6 people look at them. Yeah, I don't know. Like, not that being good ever used to mean something. This game has always been arbitrary, right? everything in this game has been so arbitrary and meaningless, but it was something that I cared about, something that I put a lot of time into. And they took that away. Oh, true. I remember the Bird in E5. Damn, those were the days. Sitting in Ramuh 330 fucking times. Wow. Throwing daggers. Yeah. I just can't do it. You guys aren't putting enough damage in my buffs. Everyone in the entire fucking group has a consistent 99. You guys just aren't doing enough damage. You guys are fucking me over. Kill yourself, dude. Oh my god. Call me the Snake of Ether. Yeah, I just sit there and wait for Tsubame Gaishi to come up. And hey, guess what? You don't have to worry about that anymore, Locke. You don't have to wait for Tsubame anymore. Samurai, you can just hit it. Dude. Thank God for that. Samurai players rejoice. You don't have to keep your buffs up. You don't have to keep your dot up. You don't have to fucking worry about Midare. You just get to play the game. You just hit 1, 2, 3. Rejoice, Melee players. Didn't you get what you wanted? So frustrating. So fucking frustrating. But being more serious, rather than just ranting and raving, the big thing for me in 14 was seeing the changes they make resonate well with the target. When I saw people be like, oh my god, this change is so good, I feel like I can finally play Black Mage, that was when it hit me that like, the game is not for me anymore. And honestly, I don't know if it was ever meant for me. I might have just been a consequence of them not knowing how to do what they wanted to do. But, yeah, well, we got better. Yeah, it is a lot like fighting games. And I drew that parallel earlier as well, but I don't know. They called it the FGC retirement home, and I was one of the first ones to retire. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Remember the Dane TFT arc? Yeah, unfortunately, so I've always been kind of on and off with TFT, like new set plays, it comes out, I play it for a bit and I have fun with it. This new set is like really bad. Like they just released a new set, it's really bad, so I'm not playing it at all. I also have just other things that I care about more, so. But, yeah, the main takeaway was that, with regards to my thoughts on Black Mage, was that they hit the mark. Which is sad for me, because when they do things and receive good feedback, it makes me think they're going to do it more. Kind of the same way I felt when Breath of the Wild came out, but now that I'm more of an adult and I am not so angry about it, I can say that I recognize that it's probably a good thing that they're able to pander to their audience so well. But it's sad for me that I'm not going to have the thing that I liked back, right? I miss traditional Zelda. That's just a fact. I do. Zelda used to be a franchise that, like, a new game could go. Dude, fucking Phantom Hourglass came out and I was excited. Twilight, like, Phantom Hourglass is no Twilight Princess, dude. Spirit Tracks is no Twilight Princess. But traditional Zeldas came out and I got excited. And I enjoyed them. Enjoyed them more than I enjoyed Breath of the Wild, but a lot of people really enjoyed Breath of the Wild. I think it's good that people have things that they enjoy, but it sucks that that means that I don't get the things that I enjoy. I think open world wise, Breath of the Wild was really not well done. However, I think that it was good from like an exploration standpoint. I just think that walking around and exploring gets boring after a while. Like eventually you get to the point where you're just like walking around empty scenery and you're like, okay, that's nice. I think I'd like to turn it down. Shrines? Okay. No. Let's be completely, that's disingenuous. That's so disingenuous to say all of the Conduit shrines. There were 6 shrines in the game, okay? That maybe 8 to 10, I'm willing to go up a little bit. But every single shrine in that game was a copy of a different fucking shrine, dude. It's not like there were a bunch of shrines and the puzzles were all crazy and innovative. Every fucking, dude, you didn't want to do fucking medium challenge for the 30th billionth fucking time? Fight a fucking guardian and get the same fucking nothing over and over and over again, dude? Like, oh my god, dude, I'm gonna fucking end my life thinking about Breath of the Wild again. That game is so awful, man. Game is so awful. Weapon durability was so dog shit in that game. Tears of the Kingdom solved it by being able to make your own weapons with the fuse thing. Completely solved it in Tears of the Kingdom. God. Tears of the Kingdom was just so much better in every way. Literally every way. God. I hated Breath of the Wild. But people really, really liked it. And I do think it's crazy that once Tears of the Kingdom came out, people started turning on Breath of the Wild. I started to hear a lot more people that echoed my sentiments of Breath of the Wild once Tears of the Kingdom came out. Just saying. Just saying. Maybe I'm not as crazy as everyone thinks. Yeah, I do think that video games just kind of run that cycle. I do remember a lot of, I saw an old review of Wind Waker that opened with them saying the only Zelda game that looks like a cartoon. And I was like, what? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what's happening? What is happening? It's the CDI Zelda games. That's true. That's true. CDI Zelda games. Come back when you're a little richer. That would be a fun stream. Yeah, CDI Zelda. I could probably do that in a one shot, right? Like a 4-hour stream? Surely. Surely that game isn't super long. Oh, good God. So you would have to play it on the shitty TV remote controller thing. It's so bad. Jesus. Alrighty. You guys have made me rant long enough. You guys have made me rant long enough. A Wiimote with all the buttons of a TV remote. That's a lot. Okay, rant more. No, I streamed about an hour and change more than I was originally planning on streaming. You guys gave me my second wind, but I need to go to bed. I was quite exhausted. And then I just started yapping. I think it's kind of crazy that I yapped for like 2 hours straight. But I need to go to bed. I literally need to. I have a release window tomorrow at 7 in the morning. But Tony, you son of a bitch. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Thank you for the 5 subs and for starting a hype train, Mr. Tony. I really appreciate it. That's crazy, dude. That's so crazy. Damn. Metal for the Soul is a name I haven't seen in ages. That's Jared, J-R-O-D, from FGC/Smash. He was a really cool guy. Very quiet, but I really liked him. I thought that he was a really neat guy. He was super into heavy metal. And like wasn't into Smash/FGC, just kind of like hung out with us. I guess he just kind of hung out with me. He was an awesome guy. I kind of miss him. I guess we rant for 5 more minutes, since that's what Mr. Tony said. I don't know, what else would you guys want to talk? I've already ranted about Zelda fighting games and 14. Those are like my 3 go-to topics. What else am I supposed to rant about? Who is LLMML? I've like literally never seen that name before. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Drake hasn't shown up. Drake just isn't in the chat. This might be the first stream he's ever missed. Are there other things that are worth yapping about? Or am I just kind of screwed? Red Mage? Okay, so like real talk, this isn't gonna be like a long rant, but talking about like how, I mean, Nocturnal Astro is broken. Don't get me wrong about that. But, okay, hold on a sec. I just need to, there we go. Okay, yeah, no, time dilation, fucking, let's not talk about that. All right, so with Red Mage though, I've always kind of considered it in the context of all of them, right? So we've got Summoner, Black Mage, Red Mage, and Picto, right? And so Summoner, like, I still think of Summoner as like Dreadworm Ether and like building towards Bahamut, like Bahamut stonks, right? Bahamut or Baha versus time, right? This is still how I think of Summoner, even though this isn't how they've been in 6 years, 7 years. This is still how I think of Summoner. Black Mage, I still think of them as like turret, steep learning curve, flexible. Red Mage, to me, has been 1-2 melee combo. That is how I've always seen Red Mage. Pictomancer, I'm not even going to talk about. I don't really have anything to talk about with Pictomancer. Only thing I can really talk about with Pictomancer is I'm glad they have a Ruin 2. I think that Ruin 2 Opti, the fact that you're not supposed to use Comet in white or Holy in white, because it is a bad button, is, can we watch Sticker? No, I'm going to bed. I'm just going to talk about the casters, then I'm going to go to bed. Ruin 2, like, is not a good button on Picto, and I like that. I like that they have an option that is not good, that is inherently not good, that you have to work around not spamming to make the most of your damage. I think that is a good design. Rest of Picto, You can't really see the hand movements I'm making, but let's just say it isn't the best design ever. Hammer now is also bad outside of 2 minutes. I think that's great. I think it's great that they have optimization. Summoner is not hype chest open the frog ponder emote. What the fuck? What is that? Interesting. Okay. Summoner is now not Dreadworm Ether and building up to Bahamut. They are now. Let's do a different color. They are now Legos. Legos. Right? Black Mage is now a healer. Picto is also kind of a healer. Which means that we now live in a world where Red Mage actually is the most complicated class of the forecasters. IMO. I don't really have anything more to say than that. Red Mage, which was the class that it was like known as the #1 Red Mage hater because of how stupid that class is, dude. It hasn't changed since then. What, they add a couple more OG CDs? They give you a couple more finishers? Red Mage is the same as it was Shadowbringers patch 1. And somehow, it ended up getting more complicated than Black Mage and Summoner. What did they do? What did they do? Well, should I eat cereal day and not so late at night? Go drink some water. And I will leave you with that. I will leave you with that. I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for listening to me rant and chat. It was good to come back. I love streaming. I don't know if I'll... Kara, don't say that. I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow. If I do, it's going to be another... I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if it'll be Xenogears or Pokemon or Zelda or anything. But, we'll see. We'll see if I stream tomorrow or if I don't. But yeah. Regardless, I had a really good time this stream. And thank you so much for everything. I just mess with you when I send gifts. No, I don't take that as me, as you like trying to force me to stream when you send me gifts, but nothing. There's nothing but about it. I don't take that as you being like, where's the stream, Dane? I never feel like I'm being coerced into doing it. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. So, I don't know. Regardless, we'll see what the. Listen, that's how you know that you're a real friend. You stick by me even through Pokemon. But I couldn't tolerate Ruina. That's fair. I don't know how you did. I don't know. I think that it helps that I really liked the game. I think that that just reading on stream is not the play, right? Because it doesn't let me interact with the chat very much. It's just kind of like, oh, like I just get to talk about the story with the other people who know the story and get to talk about the story. But I did really enjoy the gameplay of Ruina, so that helped a lot. But you're right. It is hard to stream the way that I like streaming when I'm playing story-oriented games and heavy reading games. But I'm still trying to avoid Runa. You've got to wait for Azalea to get through fucking 40 hours of the game, so. Gur graduating May 1st. Also, hello, I'm back. Hi, Azalea. I literally was like, I'm not going to be awake to watch the Gura stream. Gura stream is literally happening right now. Yeah, okay, so that's fucking crazy. I literally started the stream with me saying, Gura is probably going to announce her graduation. I'll check it in the morning. I'm probably going to be asleep. I'm still fucking streaming, dude. I don't know. Point is, I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow or not. If I do, I'll be happy to. If I don't, then just know that I'm taking a break that I need to take. So, that being said, I am going to go to bed now. I am very tired. But I do have a really big smile on my face, which is not something that I started this stream with. So, yep. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much for the subscriptions, by the way, and for just hanging out. But I'll talk to you guys later.